What's going on, Sens fans? Welcome back to another post-game coverage video with Jack and Jacob. Today we played the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it was 2-1. It wasn't the worst game we played all season by a long shot, but we didn't come out with the win. Matt Murray didn't play too bad at all, like a 929 save percentage. Great.
Yeah, no, he was good tonight.
Yeah. So
I just thought
to not be able to blame our goaltending.
No, it was a bad third period, kind of.
It was really we were too slow.
Yeah, the first two periods were great. I thought they kind of. I mean, the second was a bit more wide open, but the Sens kind of participated in that a little bit, I thought.
Yeah.
And you just would have hoped for a game so solid, through 40 that they'd finish it off. But it was kind of the opposite of the last game, where the third period was their best.
Yeah, really though.
So, just a bit frustrating, I guess, that they're snake bitten again offensively. But credit to Frederik Andersen, he was pretty solid tonight.
Yeah, he was lights out all night. I mean,
yeah,
like Matt Murray made a lot of big saves, but I feel like Ottawa pretty much, I don't want to say dominated that game, but it was their game almost from the get-go.
Oh, they were definitely the better team through two periods.
Yeah. No Frederik Andersen definitely kept them in that longer than they deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. So, cut your losses, I guess, but that's a little an unfortunate result after a game, the two games ago, I guess, where they could have really piled on to a 3-game win streak would have been huge for them.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was right there for the taking. Like, the Leafs weren't playing very great either.
No, not at all. And this comment here almost sums up the whole game. We need to work on a power play. It was,
oh my God,
it was not good tonight.
That's definitely what's contributing to the frustration at the moment.
Yeah, I think we had 3 power plays tonight. One was only a minute and a half, but it was not good. There was times that we had Anisimov and Stepan out for a minute and a half of a power play.
Yeah, so that one where they were out there, so they had 2 power plays, I think, right? The Sens had 2 power plays.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was a little shocked that they started the second unit on that first one. So the second unit ended up being out there for a minute and a half, and you're like, okay, well, there's no time for the first unit now. And I don't necessarily mind Anisimov and Stepan out there, which is kind of crazy. But it's when you consider who else would I put out there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'd probably swap Nick Paul for Anisimov. But other than that, I don't want Connor Brown playing the half wall. I don't want Tierney playing the half wall. So I feel like Stepan's the best option. He went back to what he's been for the whole season tonight. He was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Except for face-offs, and we'll get into that, I guess. But
yeah.
I wasn't overly like. So I was off Twitter for about the middle of the second to the middle of the third. I kind of just didn't go on.
Yeah.
And it was the third is when the Sens started to play poorly, and I go on and like everyone's just piling on Goodbranson, and like he had a bad game obviously, but Goodbranson's not the entire team. The entire team was slow in the third.
Yeah.
So it's funny, like, it was Cece before and now it's Goodbranson. It's easy to find a whipping boy, I guess, but I wasn't like the whole team was flat, which is frustrating. And Goodbranson's not playing on the power play,
Yeah.
That was brutal.
I didn't like the way he was played this game at all. Like there was a time that he was out for 2.5 minutes, and then the Toronto drew a penalty, and then he was out on the penalty kill right away, and he was just no legs. Like he was hardly skating. Yeah,
he struggled for sure, and I think speed-wise, the Leafs are really quick up front, and he was the one defenseman tonight who isn't very mobile, which is tough. But I'm not gonna sit here and ridicule. Like I do like what he brings. I've liked him so far this season. I've liked him and Watson as acquisitions, but I just don't think it's realistic to pin everything on him.
Yeah, absolutely. It was not his fault this game.
No.
I think things could have gone differently if he played a better game tonight. But overall, there just wasn't a team effort in the third period.
I mean, I'm looking at it right now though, and he was a +1, so he wasn't on for either of their goals.
Oh yeah, he was too.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
To think about, Zaitsev looked like he had a tough night.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can get into stats a bit later. But Yeah, you want to start with the first?
Yeah, so like Matt Murray, I think only 5 shots in the first that he had to save, but there were some pretty quality chances. Like John Tavares, like he had a real good chance in the first, and then I gotta say I feel bad for Joe Thornton tonight. He that first goal. I mean, obviously neither of them would have counted and should have counted, but you got to feel for him. Like 42 years old, playing on this team with a bunch of kids, and he has 2 goals waved off tonight.
Yeah, I understand, I guess, complaining on the second one because it's quick and you don't know where it hits you on your stick. But I don't understand why there was more uproar on the first one. Yeah. I don't like you can't push the pad in, and it was so blatant that he did it. I don't know where like the whole team was complaining. I don't really understand that, but it was funny seeing. I don't know if I've ever seen that same player getting 2 disallowed goals in one game.
Well, and they were only like. They were in different periods, but they were only like 4 minutes apart or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. It was pretty close together, and you think, and when those 2 things happen, you're starting to think, oh man, maybe this is Ottawa's game.
Yeah,
where they figure it out, but that's a funny sequence, I guess, for Thornton.
Yeah, because like on both of those goals, like Matt Murray made a great save with his pad there on that first one, and Matt Murray can't do anything with Joe Thornton pushing his pad into the net, but like great effort by Matt Murray. And then the high stick one, that one could have gone their way had it been 3 inches lower. Like that was just kind of a timing one that we kind of snuck out of. But otherwise, like we didn't have too many bad bounces tonight. I mean, the second goal
definitely a bad bounce.
Yeah,
but that's it. I know what you're saying. Yeah, and it was the first period, anyways. Was classic Guy Boucher hockey, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
It was just, just trap them. They can't get anything in the neutral zone. But then I think the Leafs they figured it out, right? It's not.
Yeah, the Leafs were playing the trap just as much as we were. And
yeah, they were. But then they started to dump and chase a little bit, which kind of throws the Sens into a bit of a panic. But
yeah,
I didn't think it was a terrible game all around for Ottawa, like we were saying. I think they played. Like it's difficult seeing a game like this after 2 straight wins, I guess is the best way to put it. But if you gave me this game 2 days ago or 2 weeks ago, I would have taken it all day.
Oh, absolutely. And like I almost feel like this is the exact same as our 2-1 loss to Montreal not too long ago.
Yeah. Same, exactly. They beat them the first time, then the second one it's a 2-1 loss in regulation.
Yeah, like I can't even complain about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
and it's more of a it's one of those games. I think the power play has looked good this year at times, but even tonight they were switching around the units a little bit, and it was a little confusing. Yeah. But man, if they can get that figured out, like if they can be a team where at 5-on-5 they're pretty even and they get chances and they're pretty good locking it down, but on power plays they strike, because that's where playoff teams separate themselves, right? When the power play is it's supposed to be full offensive control no matter what, but with this team it was not. So
I will say one of our power plays, and I think it was the one that Anisimov and Stepan wrote for a minute and a half of. Mm-hmm. It was just Eric Brandstrom. He was like, he had the puck almost the whole time, and everybody just kept bumping it to him, and like it was almost like they were doing the bump play in the corner, but with him on the point. Like everybody just kept feeding it to him, and he looked so confident with the puck. And I think he dangled past Mitch Marner over on the corner.
Yeah,
and like he just played great tonight.
I feel like I forget who tweeted it, but someone said that Eric Brandstrom just made a power play with playing catch with Derek Stepan look elite. Like he made the power play look dangerous, but Stepan was he couldn't handle the puck at all on that half wing, which is disappointing. But I mean, I don't know where they've got 3 guys they can put on the half walls, which is not enough, right? So I saw some people mentioning you could throw a second defenseman out there. Maybe you get Llewellyn in the lineup and you play 2 defensemen on that second unit, but that's really unorthodox. I think personally they should just load the top unit up and play those guys all the time.
I agree.
And you saw the Leafs doing it tonight. They switched it didn't work out for them. The PK was good for the Sens. I guess that's a bright spot in special teams. But, I mean, like I'm on the site here, and it's like Matthews and Marner. Matthews had 4 minutes and 24 seconds on the power play of ice time. Marner had just under 4 minutes, and the second tier guys had like around 2 minutes. I think they had 2 power plays, but
3. One was a minute and a half.
Right, play the top guys,
Mm-hmm.
And you don't even need to bring Wolanin in. There's nothing stopping them from just keeping Shabbat out and having Brandstrom and Shabbat running at the top. Nothing wrong with that. So we'll see what they do. I would imagine that when Dzingel comes in, which is still, I guess, 2 weeks away, that he'll be on that second unit at least.
Yeah,
so he could definitely play half wall. I think that'd be a good piece right there. But in the meantime, I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I almost want to see some change up. I mean, like Natty here commented and said once they gain the zone, they look good. It's just entering, and that's perfectly written. Like, I feel like once they're in the zone, they got caught up tonight a little bit, but usually it's just them trying to enter, and Toronto did a great job of plugging up the middle. But I almost want to see Brandstrom on the first unit now.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He can quarterback a power play like Erik Karlsson could. He's not to Erik Karlsson's caliber, but he can do exactly what Karlsson did. Like, the way he works that blue line was, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think he would fit really good with a lot of star power.
I know what you mean. I kind of disagree, I guess, a little bit with what Natty's saying, at least tonight. So I think in the third, the Leafs had a power play, and then 2 minutes later, the Sens did. So it's easy to compare the two. Yeah. The way the Leafs and the Oilers are the same way. The way that they move the puck around, it's so fast, and it's so fast that it makes the penalty killers get out of position, and then that's how they score.
Yeah.
So the thing with the Sens is it's great playing catch up top and then getting it down to Tkachuk in front of the net. Like, that's going to work every now and then, but unless you have an Ovechkin or a Stamkos or someone like that on the half wall ripping the puck, it's not going to work. And I mean, Norris has a great release and he's a great one-timer, and those are going to go in every now and then, but it's predictable and it's easy for a goaltender to just be able to make those saves. I think when Stützle's out there and when he gets more comfortable, the playmaking from that left half wall is a lot more effective.
Yeah.
I think that tonight especially, I agree with Natty's comment. Once they're in the zone, they're pretty lethal, but that's been the rest of the season. Tonight, I didn't get that feeling at all. I didn't really feel like they were pressing and that they had I don't even know if they had a high danger chance on the power play tonight. I can't really remember.
Like tonight's a bad example of when they're solid in the zone, but like they just couldn't really get anything going. And like kudos to Toronto, they had a great penalty kill tonight.
But they did.
Like Ottawa's got to get something going there. So
I think too, the Leafs penalty kill was definitely like they were just right on them all right away.
Yeah,
even if they had control of the puck, which kind of forces you in a panic because it's a little unconventional from Toronto. But when you're the Sens, if they press, like if one guy presses you, you have to know where to put the puck right away, and they didn't. And that could be a product of having new units. It could be just a new team. They don't know each other, but it's a little frustrating that they had an offensive opportunity like that a couple times today and they didn't capitalize.
Yeah, and like it's like I look at guys like Stützle, Batherson, even Tkachuk. Like, well, not so much Tkachuk because he's so big and strong and all that, but like you're on the penalty kill and you have these young guys, you're on the power play and you have these veterans that are specialty for penalty kill. Like, I think of Alex Kerfoot. He's been playing the first penalty kill on every game for the last 4 years, probably.
I mean, I don't know the little intangible things that Kerfoot does because I don't watch him, but Kerfoot is kind of like a faster Chris Tierney, I feel like. Yeah,
like he's just like one little tier above, like just skill, speed, everything.
Yeah, and speed on the penalty kill is just killer, like forward-wise. Like when Nick Paul and Connor Brown are out there, it's killer. Even Austin Watson, he can move.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Formanton because he'll get a chance at some point this year, and he's a really good penalty killer.
He is very
I would hope when they bring him up, they put him out there because they put out Brandstrom a couple times. I don't like. Sorry, I'm just thinking about the power play again. Another half wall guy would be Logan Brown.
Yeah,
that would be the one guy I'm thinking of. He was injured in Belleville. For those of you who don't know, he didn't play the last game. And he's played 2 games and they lost. In the game he wasn't playing, they won 4-1. not that it's a correlation, but it's just it's the same narrative with Logan Brown over and over again. So hopefully that doesn't continue and he gets some good time in before he's called up. But he would probably be the only guy coming in immediately that would change that, other than Dzingel, I guess. But
yeah,
right now it's a little. Right now, if you're DJ, you just load up that top unit. What's stopping you? Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I can also see the argument for kind of a share the wealth, because I could see Dzingel fitting in really well on that first unit. And
Yeah.
I don't know who you move down, but regardless of who you move down, it immediately makes that second unit better. And I don't think, unless you're taking Kachuk or whatever defenseman goes on the first unit, usually Shabbat, obviously.
Yeah.
But unless you're taking Kachuk out, you're not really downgrading either, I don't think, with adding Dzingel up there.
Well, I feel like too I'm just thinking. So the first unit would be Shabbat up top, and then tonight, anyways, it was Batherson and Norris on the wing on the half walls.
Yep.
And then Dadonov in the middle, Kachuk in front.
Mm-hmm.
So you could, I mean, I'm saying load up the top unit, but then you throw, it would be just Stutzel, I guess, coming out there, and I don't know who you take off. So I understand it from that point, but I agree with what you're saying. Once the Dzingel comes in, you could probably take out a Norris or a Batherson and put them on the second unit, and then put the Dzingel up top. And that makes Brandstrom, that makes the second unit that much more dangerous too. But at the same time,
Brandstrom, White, Paul,
right?
Like that's, and whoever else you take off the first, like that's a solid second power play.
But at the same time, you want your top unit to have more than a minute out there, right?
Yeah.
So if and the second unit in the first power play did that tonight, they had a minute and a half out there. You want that to be your top unit. So I don't know. Maybe the stars just didn't align, but I would hope, they're right back at it tomorrow night again. So I would hope that the power play is worked on at least in morning skate tomorrow, if there is one.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like they were just missing a chance here and there. They had no high danger chances on 2 power plays, which isn't good.
No, hardly any through the game really that I can think of. They just had a lot of really solid ones. I don't think there were any kind of robberies by Freddie Anderson, but
I think in the second there was that sequence with Kachuk and Norris. That's the one I can think of. Like the wraparound, I think he got that one.
Yeah,
But yeah, I agree. Other than that, there wasn't any no breakaways or anything. And the Leafs did play a better game than they did in the third period last game anyway. So
yeah, absolutely.
Didn't give them anything. But yeah, I guess we kind of didn't really do a recap. There's only a 2-1 game. There's not much to.
Yeah, we could just kind of jump into the stats and talk about it.
Let's go for it.
So Brady Kachuk, I don't even know what to say about that. Chris Tierney made a beautiful play, just like NHL 21, right across the crease to Brady, and he taps it in. Not a lot to say about the goal, but it was just a very nice goal to watch.
Well, I thought they were saying it went off Matthews and that it was going to be Tierney's goal. So I'm actually surprised that it stayed with Brady. Unless they reviewed it and actually did hit his stick.
I'm pretty sure it did hit his stick, but yeah, everything I'm seeing says Brady.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely did look like it could have been Matthews as well.
I mean, sure, and that's Brady Kachuk's 100th career point in the NHL, which is kind of crazy to think about.
I know, I feel like we just drafted him yesterday.
Yeah, but that's good for him. That's 2 goals in 3 games. 3-game point streak, I guess, because he got an assist last game too. So
yep.
Good for him. He's leading the way up there. He had a great game tonight for sure.
Yeah. One thing I noticed, it changed a little bit in the third period, but when I checked at in the second period, almost every player was between 13 and 15 minutes except for Anisimov and Watson.
Yeah. I noticed that too. The first period they were definitely just rolling the lines.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good thing. On a contending team, let's say, you're rolling your lines, all 4 can go. You're not worried when one's out there. I mean, when the 4th line was out tonight, I definitely felt a lot better that Tierney was out there than Stepan.
Yeah.
That was a good feeling. So I was happy seeing all of them go, and especially in the first 2 periods it was working. But the third didn't. No line was good in the third. I think tonight was Dadonov, White, and Paul's quietest game, I'd say.
Yeah. And they weren't even bad. I mean, Paul was -2, which is not great.
Yeah.
but like they weren't bad tonight. Like they just weren't great.
That second goal was not Nick Paul's fault, or not the first goal. I mean, where Matthews was wide open there. Like the puck comes over and that's Paul's side defensively, and then it tons of space and Matthews is wide open. So not ideal again, but they've been like they're gonna have an off game. So if tomorrow night, I'm sure they'll be right back at it. And they still had offensive zone time tonight. It wasn't like they were hemmed in their zone every shift.
Pretty interesting to see Connor Brown lead the forwards in ice time.
Yeah, it's definitely not the first time this year.
Yeah,
I think he had 3 minutes and 10 seconds shorthanded, so that'll do it.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. And like Norris getting his minutes back, love to see it.
That he was great tonight, wasn't he? Just tied for the lead in the NHL in rookie scoring, I think, or he has it on his own. Someone was saying he was tied, but 10 points, not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. Like he was very everywhere, I guess. 5 shots on goal, awesome. If Brady wasn't Brady Tkachuk and had 7 shots tonight, he would have easily had the most shots. And like that's not even to say he didn't set up Brady quite a bit. Like Josh Norris passes almost as much as he shoots.
Yeah, you could tell though that this was Norris's game where he needs to say like, okay, I belong with Tkachuk on this top line, because it was a couple of games he was spending on the fourth line there.
Yeah,
and he got the promotion in the third period last game, and I'm glad he played well tonight because he kept it. But that's a good start to his rookie year, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's pretty unheard of to come from rookie of the year in the AHL and then be in the conversation for rookie of the year in the NHL the following season.
Yeah, it's really good to see him, like, even on the faceoffs, like he's doing something again. He was, I think, what was he? He was something really crazy last night, like almost 70%, I think. Yeah,
he's had a couple of good games.
Yeah, and like this is a tough center team. Like, you're either gonna actually, I want to see who took all the faceoffs for Toronto.
Spets is a demon in the circle. Apparently, he's good.
He only had 44% tonight, but
Tavares was good.
Yeah, Tavares is really good, 62%. But yeah, like these are tough guys to play, take face off against. So
yeah, no slouches for sure.
Yeah.
Wasn't a great night in the circle for the Sens, I guess.
No, not really. I mean, Nick Paul's been taking a lot of face-offs, and I wonder how many of those were on the second power play unit.
Was he on the second power play unit?
I think so. I think he was tonight.
Okay. Yeah.
Out there with, I don't know. I'd have to look. But
White struggled, so maybe they just said, Paul, you take the face-off now. Maybe that was a discussion that they had.
20%. Wow.
Yeah. Tough night for White, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. We're right back at it tomorrow, so.
Yeah, and like it was a really quiet game. I mean, Thomas Chabot again with 26 minutes is great.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Brandstrom play a bit more. I mean,
yeah. First game back from injury, he looked pretty great. He looked pretty great for first game back from injury, though.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
We can get into our 3 stars now.
Sure.
So who do you have for tonight?
All right, I'm gonna go Chabot with a 3rd star. He would be higher, but his first period was by far his best, and he was really good defensively too, which is a little out of the blue for Thomas Chabot.
Yeah.
But I thought he was good. He was moving the puck well. And then I'll go Brady Tkachuk with the 3rd star. Just, on the board again. He had 7 shots. He only credited with 3 hits on the thing I'm looking at. I don't know.
I know. I feel like he had way more.
It feels like it. In and around the net. 7 shots though. That's great for him.
Too.
Yeah. And then. And then I got Norris for the 1st star. I thought he was just flying tonight. He's becoming like he's if you watch him, I've been trying to watch him in the defensive zone, and he's actually a really good like 2-way forward.
Yeah, he is.
He's very responsible in his own end, and he can move his feet, which helps him a lot. So he's my 1st star. My 1st star tonight.
Yeah, fair enough. My list probably going to be pretty similar. I got Norris for my 3rd star for all the same reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Just buzzing everywhere. And yeah, like you said, he looked good in the defensive zone tonight. And even offensively, like he was just everywhere. 5 shots and just producing.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the points. Well, yeah, actually the points. He got the assist tonight. He's up to 9 points now. I think he's 1 point behind Suter for first.
Okay.
But yeah, so. And then my second star, I'm going to go Brady. He just got that goal and just everywhere, 7 shots. So.
Yeah.
And first star, I'll go Matt Murray. He played a great game tonight.
That's a good point, yeah.
That second goal was a really bad bounce. I mean, off the helmet, off the post, and then off the pads.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Matt Murray had played a great game, 929 save percentage. And, yeah, so.
Yeah, we didn't really touch on Murray enough, I guess, but that's a perfect game for him, right?
Yeah.
Nice and solid, saved the ones he needed to. They just didn't get the goals tonight, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, so who do you got for next game?
A couple guys I could pick. I'm going to go with Derek Stepan. Just needs to be more reliable with the puck on his stick. He had a couple good games in a row, maybe 3 even, but he was fighting it a little bit tonight. He was pretty slow, out of position a little bit. So I look for him to have a better one tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. And I could go with the easy pick and say Branson tonight, but I'm gonna go Anisimov. I don't expect him to stay in the lineup much longer, but he doesn't look like he's trying out there anymore.
I get what you mean. Yeah,
like a lot of the time that you see him on the ice, especially in the offensive zone, which really irks me. He just seems like he's gliding, like not putting in the effort to get to the puck, and he's not slow when like he's slow with his hands and everything, but like he can keep up with some of the game. So
I for sure. I think it is a little unnerving thinking that he's not trying, because that's like, okay, get out of here. But you'd think if he's not trying, someone else would be in the lineup right away. Maybe if they scratch him tomorrow night, I have no idea.
Yeah,
he wasn't particularly great tonight, but he wasn't terrible either, I guess.
We don't have any forwards to put in though. Like,
then you're putting in a tough guy, which isn't really what you want.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I don't really have anything else to add. Are you?
I got not much. 2-1 game, not a ton to talk.
I know, it's hard.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, thanks everybody for coming to watch. We'll see you all tomorrow night for another game against Toronto.